Greetings, friends, family, alumni, faculty members, and the illustrious class of 2023. My name is Sahar Hassan, and it is my honor to stand before you today. Each and every single one of us has a story to tell. Mine begins from a 5-year-old immigrant child brought to the States by ambitious parents chasing the American dream. Born in Saudi Arabia and raised in Chicago, I have firsthand experienced the privilege of living the American dream. Our family of 5 grew up representing half the South Asian community in a small suburb of Chicago in the early 1990s. Boy, was that a great time. Television was great, the toys were legendary, and the various hip-hop songs and pop songs were constantly embedded into my brain. I was living my best life. But life, as we know it, doesn't always work in your favor. In junior high, my father, the sole breadwinner of our family, passed on to the other side. He went to sleep one night and never woke up the next morning. Then and there, I knew the probability of me living my best life would soon change. The following decade was spent in survival mode, powering through high school and community college while working blue-collar jobs to pay for rent, food, and tuition. In the midst of grieving and adjusting to my new normal, somewhere along the lines, I had fallen out of my immigration status. At the time, the 13-year-old me didn't even realize what that meant. And it wasn't until 2012 when former President Barack Obama announced DACA that I came out of that darkness. For those of you not familiar with DACA, it's an acronym for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, and it protects employment authorization and protection against deportation for a certain group of individuals. There are close to 550,000 of us DACA Americans out there, and although DACA has allowed us to stay and protected us, we're still waiting for our seat at the table and to be an equal. I went on to earn a bachelor's in English, followed by a master's in political science, and shortly after landed my first corporate job. I've been climbing the corporate ladder since. In my personal life, I went on to marry my best friend, Hassan, who is also a WGU student. Hassan and I are new parents, and exactly 4 months ago today, we welcomed our beautiful daughter, Mia Hassan Ali. She's out there somewhere. Mia and I started our WGU MBA journey together last fall as I entered my second trimester of pregnancy. As a rising leader at various organizations, I often feared starting a family. The daunting idea of pursuing another postgraduate degree, maintaining a corporate career, and starting my MBA program certainly kept me from starting my MBA program. According to a Pew Research Center analysis of current population survey data, 62% of US adults ages 25 and older don't have a 4-year college degree. 36% of them say needing to work to help support their family was a major reason why they didn't get their degree. You get past several academic and financial hurdles just to encounter more in the workforce. The 2022 McKinsey report says that women make up roughly 50% of the workforce. Yet, despite that fact, pregnant women are often denied promotions and seen as a liability or burden based on their decision to start a family. I was determined to set an example and change the narrative. WGU provide the flexibility that I needed to pursue my degree on my time. No, the proctored exams were not easy to pass. Neither were the 15-page APA formatted written assignments, graduates. But I now know how to price bonds, straight line depreciate assets, and comprehensively read financial statements. You see, nothing is ever easy, but with the right resources and grit, it can be done. My experiences as a people and business leader were taught on the job and through life experiences by applying the sink or swim methodology. You see, as a corporate governance professional, I think a lot about risk management. Not just with investments and finances, I'm talking about basic things. Like, what's the risk that my mother is zoning out in a speech right now? 0%. Or what's the risk that the Bears will win the Super Bowl this year? Debatable. But my risk factor became even more attuned after speaking to a number of minority groups and learning about their struggles. And what those conversations taught me is that in survival, oftentimes, we manage the wrong risks. You're worried about the avalanche, but it's something else entirely different that gets you. And I think this applies to us as well, because most of us are managing career risk. In other words, the risk of failing professionally or financially. But meanwhile, we're wildly exposed to other risks. The risk that we didn't tell our parents that we loved them enough, or that we didn't practice our faith to its fullest extent to see where it would take us, or that we actually never fought for someone else's rights when we had the opportunity, even though those are exactly the kind of people we say we want to be. It's never particularly a good time, so we wait. We tell ourselves, well, when I graduate from business school, well, then I'll actually have time to volunteer. Or when I land my dream job, well, then I'll have time to write that novel. We put these things off until we feel as if we've made it. But in non-certain terms, you already have, and probably have for a while now. Famous American poet Christopher Brian Bridges, better known as Ludacris, once said, "I might be nothing to you, but my mama thinks I made it." The rest really is incremental. If we're serious about being the best version of ourselves, then we gotta start right now. Because that's what's gonna be our real legacy, not that next thing. We can't afford to wait while we wait. We're running out of time to be the people that we already say that we are. So, whether you're a graduate, or a grandparent, or even if you're working your second shift today, if you've been waiting for a booming voice over a loudspeaker to tell you when's the time to start pursuing your goals, now is the time to start pursuing your goals. Thank you.